Hey cookie lovers, sorry for the late video. I was at an anime convention all weekend, so I just been insanely busy rocking out in my herb cookie costume I haven't worn in a while, but here we are again. Hello. So while I was pondering on what video I wanted to make, it hit the 1st of August.
Wake up, it's the 1st of the month.
Which means bills, money, all that fun stuff. So on the topic of money, I figured, hey, why not make a video about the value of cards? Now that the market's a little more settled for set 1 and we're almost about a month in, I tend to see a lot of people still puzzled on what cards should be worth when they're coming to selling or trading them. And with singles only being in a handful of stores and a Facebook page for singles, I figured I could help out a little bit more. Unfortunately, with different ban lists and formats, overseas markets aren't really that reliable. So let's jump on into what I think is the money cards. When it comes to commons, let's be honest, you're probably drowning in them, and so is everyone else. So a quick math run up would be, I don't know, probably about a quarter for a common. Though in my mind, just giving it out to somebody who needs it, the feeling of the good deed just outweighs the few cents that you could get for being too stingy on commons. I will say though, there is some outliers to hang on to. These examples would be any of the flip cards, as these don't get new versions for a while for some of the colors, and when set 1 is out of print here, you'll need them for set 2 onwards. As well as I would say the level 1 4 HP cards, which will probably get banned in time, but for now are valued because they're needed in green decks and some others. These are what I like to call the dollar commons, as they're only worth about 1 crisp George Washington. The last card I could argue is an honorable mention, but not really worth the old George price, but that's Profit Cookie. We can see it in some topping decks in set 3 onward, as it can help with the finisher, but I don't really know. Onto the uncommons, I want to start with what I believe would be the $2 range, and that would be Mala Sauce, Bat Cactus, and Spicy Drink. You could also consider the Robot Trap for yellow. These cards see a good amount of play in the current format, but they do tend to fall off a good amount into future sets with some niche tech-ins. For example, the Spicy Drink with the new Capsaicin Cookie can be a deadly combo, letting you swing for 5 for almost nothing. But these are more like a gimmicky rogue deck strategy versus the stable cookie cutter meta that we've been seeing. The next category is what I'd call the $3 range, and those would be Prickly Gloves, Trident, and Scroll. As of August in the current meta of Korea, we're still seeing these cards with insane heavy play. So they're worth hanging on to, especially if you want to play these decks in the future. Anything that I would say that isn't mentioned out of these cards above, you could just say are $1, just clean and easy, trade uncommon for a common to equal it out. All right, on to our rares. For rares, there's actually quite a bit of them in set 1 that carry on, which is funny because when we look at future sets, we don't really see that many rares hold like long-term use. I think it's just because set 1 had a lot of more generic played cards, so maybe that's why. But for red, we have our Pomegranate, Cherry Bomb, and Rebel. Unfortunately, Rebel is probably going to be banned soon as everyone's following the Korea ban list. But Pomegranate and Cherry Bomb are not hit at all and are just really good. The fact that Pomegranate has 5 HP just makes any other part of it pretty well. And Cherry Bomb being able to do unavoidable damage is nice, especially like if your opponent's setting up a big wall, you have a way to get over it. And then we're going to go on to our yellow cards. We have Earl Grey, Tropical Slushy, and Cyborg. The reason Cyborg's on this list is because I'm pretty sure Tropical Slushy is also going to get banned soon. Hopefully, it needs to be. And it's a good substitute for it. Earl Grey is probably the best break card in the game. So it's one of those things where, you know, let's run it. No reason not to. Being able to just heal 2 health for nothing is, like, I've lost so many games to my opponent just hitting an Earl Grey against me. And then onto our green, we have Tea Knight and Apple Pie. Apple Pie is literally just probably such a good generic basic ramp card that will always be good. Just tapping 2 to ramp 1 is, there's no punishment for it. And Tea Knight's a iffy card. The only reason I say Tea Knight's on here is sometimes you want to play blockers, especially with the Logan Dragon deck in set 6 or set 3, BT6. But there's not too many rares besides those for green. And even with blue, I would say like there's really no rares that we want to keep using. And from purple, it's just the trap. But for all these rares, I honestly call them like the pack worth rares. These are probably about $4 for the $5. So if you open one and you don't get an SR and you get one of these, essentially you're just making your money back. So yeah, these are like the pack. Anything else I would say is honestly only about $2 or $3 that isn't on this list. Last on our list, we have our SRs and URs. So I want to start with what I like to call the pack refunds. And these are because if you pull them, you essentially just get your value back of the pack, maybe a few more dollars more. And that's going to be Croissant, Latte, Moon Rabbit, Peppercino, Ginger Brave, and Bell Pepper. All these are like not bad cards, but there's just something better for it, and they don't see future play. So the mix of collector value with not being played just keeps them kind of low, but like not ridiculously low. Bell Pepper actually does see some use in the future. And then onward from that, we're going to go to $10 to $15. This will be Dark Choco, Blue Lily, Pond Dino, Raisin, Cream Unicorn, Lily Bell, Rogue Fort, Sherbert, Parfait, Aloe, and Starfruit. Now these I'm considering the 10 to 15, and I would say out of all these, Starfruit and Aloe are the two that are probably more towards even maybe the 15 and 20. This is because they continuously see play, while everything else is kind of more of a tech-in we see in the future. And then onward, we're going to go to the 20 to 25. That's going to be Mushroom, Wind Archer, Sea Fairy, and Wildberry. Mushroom and Sea Fairy are in the $20 range, while I would say 25 is more of the Wind Archer and Wildberry. That's because Wind Archer and Wildberry just will not stop seeing play, as we can see right now in Korea. And then after that, we have our Timekeeper, which is our $35 to $40 card. This card is very expensive, but it's just insanely justified. You run as 4 for as long as we can see. Just the ability to heal, and it's only 2, and just killing the 1 so there's no blockers, and everything about it, and yellow just being consistently meta. This card's got to stay at that higher end value. And then I can't end the video without talking about the secrets in, you know, SSRs and SUR and all that. And I mean, there's really no answer. Like, I would love to sit here and make one, but every single day I look, the prices just keep changing for it. For example, the high rarity Timekeeper when the game first drops was like $200 to $250, and then now I'm seeing postings for it at $500. So this one, like, you're gonna have to just kind of feel it out. Again, you're more than welcome to message me in Discord. Like, I'll give you advice if you're trying to trade a card that's a high rarity or not. Let you know if you're getting a fair deal. But I really would feel bad if I gave a number and then, you know, hey, this poison mushroom's $80 for the good rarity, and then the next day, you know, it's 200. I would not feel good. So, sadly for this one, I don't have much, but yeah, feel free to shout me out if you're trying to trade it. Sorry, I can't give you more news, but anyway. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you being here. More videos will be coming up soon. I have recorded tournaments I'm going to be putting out soon from my locals, and many other ideas. Not everything will be a edited animation video, because animation stuff usually takes a long time to do. I have a lot more like camera on mode once I set my room up, news updates, you know, IRL, and me and my Zake VTuber and all that stuff. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and keep cookie running. See ya. Bye.